God morgon, god morgon! Nu är det morgonkaffe som gäller. Har du hällt upp ditt kaffe? Jag har. Det är lite mjölk i. Första klunken för idag. Nu har vi ju en gäst idag också. Det är Laura som kommer komma tillbaka. Här ska vi se. Hon har förfrågan om att komma med. Hon ska få hänga med. För hon har någonting jättespännande som händer från hon ska få berätta om alldeles strax när hon kommer här. Så ska vi köra igång.
Hey.
Good morning!
Good morning.
Okay, let me see here. The screen gets so different when you share it. There we go. I sort of see you like this.
Yep. I don't really do live, so my setup is not like it never really kind of.
There, that was perfect, I think.
Okay, thank you. Jag vill bara säga tack för att du pratar engelska med mig.
Tack själv, tack för att du är med. But we'll take it in English, right?
Yes, yeah, we can take it in English. It's best for my confused brain today.
My brain is a little bit tired today. I haven't slept well. I dreamt a lot and my kid woke up and everything. So
Okay.
I'm a little bit tired today. So if I say something that's weird, I think I'm going to be able to keep it together in like 15 minutes. And you're doing most of the talking, right? Maybe. We'll
Nice. Here there was an event, tiny local event called Morgonen, where all the creative people in the Kinnekulle area opened up their ateliers and shops and everything. So that's what I have done over the weekend.
That's nice.
But I am tired, and it's the perfect thing to do, the weekend right before the Kickstarter campaign. That's amazing. Not.
So last time we spoke 2 weeks ago, you told us about the Kickstarter you did, I think it was 2 years ago. That's a last Sunday. And now you're starting a new Kickstarter, starting today.
Yes, today. Absolutely today.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so it was actually the Kickstarter was last year, and we printed this book, very shiny gold cover, gold titled something, called The Lost Sunday. It's also available in Swedish from Epix. Thank you. And The Lost Sunday is a fairy tale inspired comic book about working too much. It's a little bit ironic sometimes when I attend fairs on Sundays with a book about how bad it is to work on Sunday. But yeah, it's a conversation starter, let's say that. And last year we had a very, very good Kickstarter with The Lost Sunday, and we gathered 230% of the funding goal. And that was very nice. And this year we want to bring book number 2 in the collection, and it will again be the same A4 hardcover, beautifully colored, shiny, golden title, nice colors book for a new title called Treasure, Thoughts and Trinkets. And Treasure, Thoughts and Trinkets is collection of 24 silent comics that are playful and optimistic, and a lot of them depict stories of everyday life, but it shifts your perspective in a very imaginative way. Both books are by the absolutely amazingly talented Ilana Sordokan. And because we want to gather the funds to print this new book in the collection, we are starting a new Kickstarter campaign today at 2 p.m. precisely here in Sweden. And hopefully everything will be fine. And the thing with the book is that we are hoping for, we have a bigger goal, because the book that we want to print is double in size. And also, yeah, the world is kind of funky these days. So printing costs and all producing costs and stuff like that very very wildly. It's almost scary to see them. I think
Yeah.
you know about that as well.
Yeah, I'm always trying to think what I can do to not add to the problem. Like, do I really need to print this amount of books? Can I go lower without the prices going up so much that people have to pay like an unreasonable amount of money for my little book? It's really difficult.
How do you go around the minimum quantities print?
Sorry, once again?
Minimum quantities, because you know the printing shops, you can't just go and say, "Hey, I want to print 10 books," and they're like, "Okay, like here's the price," and it's astronomical, and you're like, "Oh, sorry."
Well, I can. I have this printer where I can see what the price is going to be before I make an offer, before I make purchase it. So I can see what it would land on and and then I can just calculate what the price for person to buy it would be. And then I have like a printer shop that I want to use. And I've used them for years. So, and they have good prices. So I use them. And then, and I just try to keep the amount of books as low as I can. And I try to be realistic about it as well. Like I print only a little bit more than I think that I would be able to sell.
That's very smart. And I think we should do a lot more lives to talk about this all, how to do it, because I think many times when people see comic books and creatives around the industry, they're like, yeah, okay, 80% of her job or whatnot is to draw, how fun, But it's almost never like that. It's like maybe you get to draw for 30% of the time, but then it's how to run
Hope.
the business, where to print, how to market it, how to and it's a
Yeah.
little bit the same with Kickstarter. Like people generally tend to think that the bulk of the job is during the campaign, which takes 1 hour. 1 hour, I wish. 30 days, 1 month. But but to give you a kind of an example, we've been talking about this Kickstarter campaign ever since the last one ended, and we've been working quite heavily on it, meaning preparing all the texts, all the graphics, all the videos, all the book trailers, everything since February, I think we started. Yeah, we've been working.
I was very impressed during your last Kickstarter, all the things that you did with the live videos and the marketing material and everything. Everything was so planned out. It was beautiful and fun. That's why I liked it so much. That's why I like you so much.
Oh, thank you, thank you so
We
much.
got a question from one of my readers. I asked them if they wanted to ask you something or me for this broadcast, and that question was actually, what is the most important thing that you need to think about and prepare before launching a Kickstarter?
The most important thing. Oh, well, it's very easy. It's everything. No, it's to reserve a good amount of time and take it as very important, because it is very important, and it's not just writing a story, like words to explain why you ask the money. The more graphical and beautiful the campaign it is, of course, the people will react better at that. But then it's also like, don't even get me started on how headache provoking is to build the rewards and the add-on systems. And also, like, for example, you can charge shipping directly to Kickstarter, but many people use pledge managers, and that's a good reason for that, because it's extremely hard to calculate shipping prices if you want to serve around the world, especially now. And to me, for example, after having done, this is my 6th campaign. Yeah. Right now, what I personally find the hardest is shipping prices, but I think it's like a context of historical context also, because they vary so much, and so it's almost impossible to to estimate something correctly, and then you lose on that. But
Yeah.
yeah, something I didn't know last time I ran the Kickstarter campaign, and it's good that we're doing this, so we learn how it works in several configurations. If you set a goal, like let's say 10,000 euros, 100,000 Swedish, and you charge shipping through Kickstarter, so when people pledge for you, let's say they pledge 5 euros or 50 sec, and you charge 25 sec for shipping, the way Kickstarter considers it is a pledge of 75 sec. So it adds
Oh.
up everything, including the shipping, and we didn't know that. Like,
And then
luckily,
deduct their percent, and PayPal deduct their percent. I think it's 5 or 6%
yep,
total. And that's a fair amount.
yeah,
That they
like,
take.
yeah. Last campaign we gathered 15,000 euros, which was a lot more than we asked for, but luckily we did get that amount of money because we didn't expect that shipping would be considered like that. So it's good that we did a lot more. And
Yeah.
we, in my bank, arrived about 13,000, just to give a rough
Yeah.
understanding on how it works. And those are all
Yeah.
costs that nobody tells you. Like, you have to calculate by yourself, and you kind of have to be ready because they're substantial. Yeah.
Mm, definitely. And I think many people doing a Kickstarter, they want to keep the prices so low. There's like no overhead. There's no overhead. So if something like that happens, like with the shipping, or if something gets lost or accidentally gets like a higher price, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah,
It's on.
that is true.
So you need to add. You need to set an asking price and then add, like, I don't know, 20% or something. I don't know, because you usually end up having to pay for it yourself. So it would be nice to have some money to put on the table.
Now, the reality is that you don't do that with Kickstarter. You just don't. What you do is essentially you ask for help to print a book. And
Yeah.
then, like, that's kind of it. But it's not, definitely doesn't put money on the table or anything. But it's very good from a marketing perspective. It's good for bringing projects to life, per se. So they're very true to other advertising. Well, this being said, I hope that everyone will consider looking at our Kickstarter campaign that starts at 2 sharp.
Definitely. It's going to be so much fun to look at this, because I remember the last Kickstarter, I just looked at the pictures and like, ooh, I was like a kid. They were so beautiful. So I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter what it's about. I'm just going to buy it because it's pretty.
Oh my God, that's so nice. Like, this time we have more pictures and all the banners. We have more banners than the last campaign, and all of them are animated. Candy. And we have one book trailer, but we don't have one video. We have 3 videos. No,
Okay.
4 actually.
Oh. And you can all see them on your account for Noia Games.
You now, if you go to pronoia.se, you can already see the book trailer, and it's also on YouTube. But at 2, you'll be able to see absolutely everything on the Kickstarter campaign. So it's Kickstarter/Pronoia Games/treasures, thoughts, and trinkets. Yeah. Oh. How about you? Do you want to ever do a Kickstarter campaign?
Well, I haven't used Kickstarter, actually. I used my first crowdfunding was funded by me.
Oh.
My first book, I don't have it here. Drömresan. It was like a small book. It had already been made. But I just wanted to try to do a crowdfunding. So I just had the book that was already made, and then I sold the originals and stuff like that. Just to like give it a go, you know. And that ran for 2 weeks, I think, and it was nerve-wracking. And then for my second one, I didn't do a Kickstarter. I didn't do a funded by me because I realized that I already had like an existing audience that I wanted to reach out to.
And with Kickstarter, you sort of need to have everything locked in. Like, this is what it's going to be. Just I'm asking for production costs value. But I wasn't finished. Like, I wanted the audience to be included in, so what are the posters going to look like? What are the t-shirts going to look like? And stuff like that. And I couldn't do that with Kickstarter. So I used my own website and just rounded up people like that because I wanted to do it for my existing fans. So I did I collected all of this short series with Second Ting. And then I also did like posters and t-shirts and sold the originals and stuff like that. So I had it wasn't a lot of backers. Well, it was for me, but I think I had like 80, something like that. So that was good for me. Compared to you, it's not a lot, but anyway.
No, like I actually believe that like we touched on the subject a little bit last time we talked, and perhaps we shouldn't talk on this conversation now because it's gonna be extended. But I like the idea of enough for me. And like just like you, like to me, for example, every time one person buys a book or does a pledge for Kickstarter or buys a key on Steam or stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God, I love you, you wonderful soul, you know? And sure, it's important to bring money to the table and everything, but I almost disassociate the value from that because I love absolutely every single soul that backs the work that we do. And if it's 5 people, it's amazing. If it's 10 people, it's amazing. It's just amazing to see how people react to what you give life to, essentially, to this kind of projects. So yeah,
it's difficult to see like individuals and people. What if there's so many people? Like, if it would be like 2,000 people looking at it and like going, ooh, I could just be like, okay, I can't see anyone here. I can't see. Oh, they're just a mass of people. It's awesome, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed. And yeah, I can imagine that could be a little bit difficult, but fun as well. Economically fun. No,
people are awesome. That's the conclusion that I get. Whether it's 5 of them or 1,000 of them, people are absolutely awesome, and especially people who participate in projects from small creators like you and me. So yeah, and I think we are awesome too because we probably participate to a lot of projects from small creators as well, right? So.
One last question before I let you go here. So you've made, this is your 6th campaign, but the 2nd one in comics, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I had a follow-up question. Sorry, I'm so tired.
No, don't worry. Easy answer. Yeah, yes.
Are you thinking of doing like more Kickstarters and like a higher pace? Because now you've been working with Ilana, and she does amazing things. But are you thinking about maybe doing 2 Kickstarters a year with other artists, or do you have any other projects? What does the future look like?
Today specifically, the future looks like, hey, at 2 p.m. I'm thinking this. So that's all that is in my head. Yeah, of course I want to work with more artists, and I want to extend the comics collection, especially on the digital side, on Los Sunday Comics. So yes, if there are artists listening, please reach out and let's talk. But fun fact with 2 Kickstarter campaigns, I actually had this crazy world domination plan because I have a board game called Zestra. And it's a very funny board game that was my first Kickstarter campaign, actually. And I'm out of print for the English version. So everyone wants the English version. And I said, okay, I'm going to make a Kickstarter reprint campaign. And I was thinking, you have to kind of, in spring Kickstarters arise, so you kind of have to do a Kickstarter campaign in spring. And I was thinking, no, I'm going to start the Zestra campaign in April, and then in May I'm doing the Lost Sunday. Can I do it? No, I cannot do it. Kickstarter does not approve you having a campaign, so they approve you having one campaign at a time. And by having one campaign at a time, you must be ready and done with fulfillment of the previous campaign. So you simply cannot run 2 campaigns in the same time. I don't think anyone asked because you have to be crazy to even consider it. But I am crazy, so yeah. And they told me a resounding no and said, hey, you have to choose whether you want to do the gästar reprint or treasure thoughts and trinkets. So I chose.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. But it's not realistic to run more than 1 campaign a year. And that's the truth. Like if you are a creator that's watching and you're considering how many Kickstarter campaigns you can run, it's really not humanly realistic to run 2 campaigns because you have to be fully focused on that campaign, and it takes a lot. Like I would say at least 3 months before the campaign with heavy, intense work to prepare the campaign and everything. Then during the month of the campaign, you're not sleeping, not nothing. You're glued to you suffer from this disease called refreshitis. And then
Yeah, I had that.
and then after the campaign is done, especially if it is successful, you have to respond to all the people. You have to take care of production as soon as possible. You have to ship. You have to fulfill. So it's like, it's at least 8 months minimum, I would say, of intense work. Yeah.
Yeah, I think many people maybe think that, it's just you put it on Kickstarter and you get a lot of money.
Yeah, no, it's true for the most part. It's just if you are just you putting some stuff on Kickstarter, that's where the story ends. You get a lot of money, it doesn't happen.
No, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura, we're like 7 minutes over time, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People will watch anyway. It was so nice having you back with us, and I wish you the best of luck with your Kickstarter starting today.
Thank you so much. Today at 2 p.m.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for looking. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Can't find it. Thank you so much. Drinking coffee.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. All right. Bye, David.
Bye. I'm trying to get out, but I don't know how.
Okay.
Wait. What?